You will never change your life until you change what you do every single day. Small actions create the path to big victories. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They make every moment count by choosing progress over comfort. Success is not about talent or luck. It's about the habits you build when no one's watching. Today, we will uncover the 10 things winners do every day that set them apart from the rest. These are not complicated tricks or impossible routines. They are powerful daily choices that shape their mindset, fuel their drive, and keep them moving when others quit. From how they start their mornings to how they handle challenges, these habits are simple, real, and life-changing. If you've been feeling stuck, scattered, or searching for clarity, this is where transformation begins. These are the small steps that create unstoppable momentum and a life you're proud of. If you're ready to master the daily habits that lead to lasting success, then let's dive in. Number 1. Wake up early and plan the entire day. Most people wake up every morning already behind. Behind on sleep. Behind on their goals. Behind on their commitments. They roll out of bed, eyes barely open, already feeling like the day owns them. They're checking their phones before they've even stood up straight. They're reacting instead of leading. And that's not how winners live. That's not how successful people show up to life. Because if you start the day in chaos, the day continues in chaos. You never catch up. You never take control. You drift from one thing to the next, wondering why nothing ever changes. The day runs you instead of you running the day. That's not a strategy. That's a habit of losing. Winners don't wake up whenever. Winners don't hope the day goes well. They wake up early before the world starts making noise, and they plan. That's what gives them the edge. They rise before the day demands anything from them, and they start with a clear head, a quiet mind. They don't snooze the alarm 6 times. They don't scroll through nonsense. They don't complain that it's too early. They treat the early hours like gold. Because that time before the rush, that's when the mind is sharpest. That's when you can think without distractions. That's when you can decide how you want the day to go instead of letting it happen to you. You see, waking up early isn't just about discipline. It's about respect for your goals, for your time, for your potential. If you're serious about winning in life, the morning is where it starts. Not at noon. Not after 3 cups of coffee. Not after checking social media. It starts when it's still dark outside and everyone else is sleeping. That's the moment of power, because no one is asking anything from you yet. That's your time. And when you use that time wisely, it shapes everything that comes after. The people who are serious about success, they don't just wake up early for the sake of it. They use those hours with intention. They plan the entire day, not halfway. Not some vague idea in their head, a real plan. They write it down. They map it out. They get specific. They know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and how they're going to approach it. That kind of structure removes stress. It removes indecision. It removes wasted time. Because when you know exactly what your priorities are, you stop getting pulled in 100 directions. Most people lose their entire morning reacting to other people's agendas. Emails, messages, interruptions, distractions. They don't have a clear plan, so they chase whatever pops up. Winners don't chase. They lead. They decide what matters most that day, and they make it happen. Because they've already taken the quiet, focused time to map it out. That's why they move faster. That's why they get more done. That's why they stay ahead. Because while the average person is still trying to figure out what to do next, the winner has already finished the most important work of the day. Now, planning isn't about making some perfect schedule where everything goes exactly as expected. Life isn't that tidy. But it's about setting an intention. It's about knowing your top priorities. It's about creating a sense of order and purpose before the chaos of the day even starts. That's what makes a difference. Because if you don't decide what matters most, the world will decide for you, and you probably won't like the results. And planning doesn't take hours. It takes minutes. You can do it with a notebook and a pen. No fancy apps. No complicated systems. Just you, your thoughts, and a question. What do I need to accomplish today to move closer to my goals? That's how winners think. They don't plan for busyness. They plan for results. They don't fill their schedules just to feel productive. They focus on what moves the needle, what actually counts. Some people wake up every day and hope things go right. Hope they feel inspired. Hope they find motivation. Hope they get a lucky break. That's gambling, not winning. Hope is not a habit. Winners don't gamble with their future. They build it every morning with clear focus and a solid plan. And here's what starts to happen when you do this. You begin the day with purpose. You feel in control. You move with confidence. You stop wasting time on the unimportant. You don't start the day already stressed because you've already taken control of it before anyone else even woke up. That creates momentum. It builds pride. It builds confidence. That's not motivation, that's structure. And structure creates freedom. Because when your day is planned, you're free to focus. You're free to create. You're free to execute without second-guessing every move. Every successful person you've ever admired had one thing in common: a strong morning routine. Not because they liked waking up early, but because they valued their time more than their comfort. They understood that discipline in the morning creates results in the long run. They knew that greatness doesn't happen by accident, it's designed. And design starts with your morning. You can't just want success. You have to build it into your day. If you start each morning with no structure, you're already behind. The clock doesn't care how you feel. The world isn't going to wait until you're ready. It's moving with or without you. And if you're not moving with intention, you're just existing. And that's not why you're here. Take this seriously. If you're tired of falling short, if you're tired of feeling like you never have enough time, this is where the shift begins. Start waking up early. Start planning your day. Even if it's not perfect. Even if you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. Because how you begin the day shapes everything that follows. And if you want to live a life of clarity, power, and results, that beginning matters more than anything else. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start with the morning. Commit to getting up early. Not once. Not when it's easy. Every single day. And when you do, use that time wisely. Build your day on paper before you live it in real life. Don't drift. Don't wing it. Decide how the day is going to go. That's how you win. Success isn't found in the big moments. It's found in the small, consistent habits like how you start your day. You have to lead your life, not follow it. And that leadership starts before the sun comes up. That's where the winners are made. In the quiet hours. In the moments no one else sees. That's where it all begins. That's where it always begins. Number 2, set clear goals and visualize daily success. Most people are busy, but they're not going anywhere. They work hard, they stay up late, they talk about how tired they are, but ask them what exactly they're working toward, and they don't have an answer. Or if they do, it's vague. It's blurry. It's something like, I just want to be successful, or I want to be happy. But what does that really mean? They haven't sat down to define it. They haven't painted a clear picture of where they want to go. And that's a major reason why they feel stuck. Because if you don't know where you're going, how do you expect to get there? The truth is, most people are living life without a real target. They're just reacting to what happens. And when you live without a target, every little setback feels like a crisis. Every delay feels like failure. You can't focus because you don't know what to focus on. And that leads to stress, anxiety, burnout, because there's motion but no direction. You're on the treadmill, not the road. And that's exhausting. Winners don't live like that. They don't wait for life to hand them something good. They decide what they want, and then they go after it. They set clear goals, not fuzzy ones, not emotional hopes, clear, specific, measurable goals. They know exactly what they're chasing. They define it in detail. They break it down. They write it down. And they look at it every single day. That's what gives their actions meaning. That's what gives their choices power. Setting clear goals is one of the most powerful habits a person can build. Because once you define what you want, your brain starts working differently. It filters distractions. It spots opportunities. It becomes sharper. But it starts with clarity. If you skip that, everything else falls apart. Working hard without clear goals is like building a house without a blueprint. You can stack bricks all day, but you won't end up with something solid. Clarity is power. When you're clear, you're not easily shaken. You don't get distracted by things that don't matter. You stop comparing yourself to other people because you're focused on your path. You wake up with purpose. You stop wondering what to do next because you already decided the night before. You've got something to chase, and that pulls you forward. But it doesn't stop at setting goals. That's just the first step. Winners take it further. They visualize success. They don't just write down their goals and forget them. They bring them to life in their minds. Every day, they close their eyes and see it. They feel it. They imagine what it's like to already be there, to have already achieved it. They don't just hope for success. They train their minds to live in it. This isn't just feel-good talk. Visualization sharpens focus. It builds belief. When you picture success in detail, your brain starts to recognize it as familiar. And what feels familiar feels possible. Winners use that to their advantage. They use it to break past fear, to push through doubt, to stay focused when life gets noisy. Because they're not just hoping they'll succeed, they've already seen it happen in their minds. That's what gives them emotional strength when challenges show up. Daily visualization isn't about pretending things are easy. It's about preparing your mind to perform at its best. When you see yourself succeeding, you train your brain to expect it. And when you expect something, you act in alignment with that expectation. You start to make decisions based on where you're going, not where you are. You carry yourself differently. You think differently. That inner shift makes a real impact. Most people live their lives reacting to what's in front of them. The day gets away from them. Distractions take over. Their mind is filled with stress, doubt, and scattered thoughts. But winners take control of their inner world before they step into the outer world. They take 5 or 10 minutes in the morning to visualize where they're headed. They focus their mind like a laser, and that gives them an edge. They're not guessing. They're not winging it. They're aligned, focused, grounded. When you set goals and visualize daily, your life stops feeling random. You don't feel like you're just surviving anymore. You feel like you're building something. And that feeling changes everything. It affects how you talk, how you carry yourself, how you respond to setbacks. Because you've made the decision, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. And no matter what happens, I'm staying on this path. Another mistake people make is waiting until they feel motivated to think about their goals. But motivation comes and goes. Goals shouldn't. If your vision depends on how you feel today, it's weak. You can't build a strong life on weak foundations. That's why daily review is so important. Even if it's just a few minutes in the morning, revisiting your goals, seeing them clearly, imagining your progress, it reinforces the message. It rewires your mind. It tells you, again and again, this is the life I'm building. And don't be vague. Vague goals get vague results. Be exact. What do you want to earn? What do you want your body to look like? What kind of relationships do you want? Where do you want to live? What does a perfect day look like for you? Write it out. Picture it. Be honest. Be detailed. Don't aim for what sounds good to other people. Aim for what sets your soul on fire. That's the only way it works. Because if the vision doesn't move you emotionally, you won't commit to it fully. The act of setting goals and visualizing success is not about pretending everything will be easy. It's about creating a reason strong enough to push through the hard days. It's about giving your effort a direction. It's about waking up every day with a mission, not just a routine. There are going to be days when everything feels heavy, when nothing seems to be working, when the road ahead looks long. That's when most people give up. Not because they didn't have potential, but because they didn't have a clear enough reason to keep going. But when you've been visualizing your future every single morning, when you've been reminding yourself what's waiting on the other side of effort, you don't quit. You don't fold. You keep showing up, because your mind has already lived that success, and now it's just a matter of catching up. Success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the clear. The people who know what they want, who can describe it, who can feel it, who see it every day before it becomes reality. That's the kind of focus that moves mountains. That's the kind of clarity that changes lives. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the daily discipline of seeing what others ignore. If you want your life to change, start with this habit. Take a few minutes each morning to revisit your goals, to picture your success, to feel the victory before it happens. That small daily ritual will shape your choices. It will sharpen your mind. It will keep you steady in the storms. And it will take you closer to the life you were meant to live. Not once in a while. Not when you feel inspired. Every single day. Because real winners don't chase the day. They lead it with vision. Number 3, exercise regularly to boost energy and focus. There's a harsh reality many people face every day. They feel drained before the day even begins. Energy levels are low, focus is scattered, and motivation feels like a distant memory. People push through the day like it's a chore, barely able to keep up with their own lives. And the truth is, when your body is weak, your mind follows. Without energy, concentration fades. Without strength, determination slips. That sluggish feeling that drags you down is more common than you think, but it's not something you have to accept as normal. Most people think success comes from grinding non-stop, but that's a lie. The truth is, success depends on managing your energy just as much as your time. And the biggest key to managing energy is something simple but powerful: regular exercise. Exercise is not just about building muscles or looking good. It's about preparing your body to do what it needs to do all day long. When you exercise regularly, you're improving how your body delivers oxygen and nutrients to your brain and muscles. That means you get sharper, faster, more alert. You won't just feel better physically, you'll think clearer and work better. Your mind and body are connected in ways most people ignore, but the winners understand it deeply. They know the energy that fuels their success starts in their body. It's easy to think that exercise is a luxury or something to do only when you have time, but that's backward thinking. Exercise should be a non-negotiable part of your day, because without it, your energy tanks quicker. You get tired faster. Your patience runs thin. Your focus disappears. You become vulnerable to distractions and poor decisions. But when you commit to moving your body consistently, everything changes. You wake up feeling more alive. You face challenges with a clearer mind. You stay engaged longer. That's not just motivation. That's biology working in your favor. People often avoid exercise because they think it's complicated or time-consuming. They believe it requires expensive gyms, special clothes, or a strict routine. But it doesn't. Movement is natural and simple. It can be a walk around the block, a set of push-ups at home, stretching, or any activity that raises your heart rate. What matters most is consistency, showing up day after day, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes. That small daily effort compounds over time. It builds strength, endurance, and resilience. It builds a foundation that supports everything else you do. Another reason exercise is so powerful is because it improves mood and reduces stress. When you're active, your body releases chemicals like endorphins and dopamine, natural mood boosters. That means you feel happier, calmer, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. Stress is a major energy killer, and regular exercise helps you manage it naturally. When stress levels drop, your mind stays sharp. Your decisions improve. Your attitude shifts. That's why winners make exercise a habit, not just for their bodies, but for their mental edge. The habit of regular exercise also builds discipline. You learn to prioritize your well-being even when it's tough. You build confidence because you see yourself improving physically and mentally. That confidence spills over into other areas of life. When you know you're strong enough to face a hard workout, you start believing you're strong enough to face tough conversations, challenges, or setbacks. It creates momentum that pushes you forward. There's no need to aim for perfection. Some days your exercise might be intense. Other days it might be light. The important thing is showing up. Winners understand that it's not about doing the biggest or hardest workout once in a while. It's about creating a routine that keeps their energy levels steady. They protect that time fiercely, just like they protect their most important appointments. They understand that without it, their performance drops. So they never treat it as optional. Many people wait until they feel like it to exercise, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Instead, successful people build exercise into their schedule as a non-negotiable habit. It's part of who they are. It's a commitment they keep no matter what. Even when they're tired, even when they're busy, they move. Because they know that waiting for motivation will leave them stuck. Action comes first and motivation follows. Regular exercise also sharpens focus in surprising ways. When your body moves, your brain lights up. Blood flow increases, neurons fire, and your mental clarity improves. That's why many top performers use exercise as a tool to break through mental blocks or boost creativity. When you're stuck on a problem, a short walk or some simple stretches can unlock new ideas. That's not luck, that's biology working to your advantage. That's a tool you can use every day. When people ignore exercise, they pay the price with exhaustion, foggy thinking, and poor health. That's a slow slide away from their goals. They think they're too busy to work out, but the real truth is that skipping exercise makes everything harder. When energy is low, productivity drops. When focus fades, mistakes increase. When mood drops, motivation disappears. It's a chain reaction that kills momentum and leaves you frustrated. Exercise changes all that. It rewires your body and mind for success. It prepares you to handle more. It raises your baseline energy and focus so you don't run out before the day is done. That's why it's one of the most powerful habits winners use every day. Not because it's glamorous or easy, but because it works. You don't need to be an athlete to benefit from exercise. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. You just need to move regularly. That's it. And the best part? Movement releases tension that builds up from sitting too long or stress. It opens your chest, straightens your posture, clears your head. Suddenly, you're breathing deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling more alive. That feeling alone is worth the effort. The secret is simple. The more consistently you move, the more your energy grows. The more your energy grows, the better your focus and mood become. The better your focus and mood, the more you get done. And the more you get done, the closer you move to your goals. It's a cycle that feeds itself. If you want to build a life of success, it starts with taking care of the machine that carries you through it, your body. Without regular movement, that machine breaks down faster than you realize. But with it, you build strength, stamina, and mental sharpness that carry you through the hardest days. The question isn't whether you have time to exercise. The question is, can you afford not to? Every day you move your body, you invest in your future. Every day you ignore it, you borrow trouble. You're either building energy or losing it. There's no middle ground. The choice is yours. If you want to be someone who finishes strong, stays sharp, and wins consistently, build exercise into your daily routine. Make it a habit. Protect it. Honor it. Because when your body is strong, your mind follows. That's the foundation of lasting success. Number 4, read or learn something new every day. It's hard to admit, but most people get stuck in the same place mentally, year after year. They go through routines, repeat the same patterns, and think they're moving forward because they're busy. But if you look closer, the truth is they aren't growing. Their minds stay the same size, their skills don't improve, and their understanding doesn't deepen. Life doesn't get easier or richer. Instead, they feel trapped, like they're running on a hamster wheel, exhausted but going nowhere. That's a hard reality many don't want to face, but it's the reality of standing still. What separates those who rise from those who stay stuck is the simple habit of learning every single day. Winners commit to feeding their minds. They understand that success isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And that means expanding knowledge, sharpening skills, and growing perspectives constantly. The world moves fast, and if you don't keep up, you fall behind. But if you make learning a daily habit, you position yourself ahead of the pack. You stay relevant. You stay sharp. Learning doesn't mean you have to sit down with a textbook or enroll in expensive courses. It means being intentional about gaining new insights, even small ones, every day. It could be reading a chapter of a book, listening to an educational podcast, watching a video that teaches something practical, or even reading articles that expand your thinking. The key is consistent input that challenges your mind and stretches your understanding. Many people underestimate the power of this habit because it's slow. It's not flashy. You don't see immediate results like winning a prize or closing a deal. But it's like building a muscle. Every day you lift a little heavier, and over time you become stronger. The small daily improvements in your knowledge and skills build momentum. Before you know it, you're thinking clearer, solving problems faster, and making better decisions. There's also a powerful emotional shift that happens when you commit to daily learning. Your confidence grows because you know more. You feel less overwhelmed because you have tools to handle challenges. Your curiosity awakens and life becomes more interesting. That curiosity keeps you moving forward, searching for new answers, new ideas, and new ways to improve. It's an energizing cycle that feeds itself. Some people avoid learning because it's uncomfortable. It requires effort. It means admitting you don't know everything, which can bruise the ego. But growth never happens in comfort zones. Winners understand that discomfort is part of progress. They face it head-on. They lean into new information, even when it's difficult or challenges their existing beliefs. That's what separates leaders from followers, the willingness to keep learning, no matter how much they already know. Another mistake is thinking learning only applies to certain areas like business or career. But true learning is broad. It includes improving communication skills, understanding people better, developing emotional intelligence, or learning how to manage money. Every bit of new knowledge improves your ability to navigate life and create success. It all connects. The more you know, the more options you have. Successful people make learning a ritual. They set aside time every day, not just when they feel like it. It becomes a habit that shapes their identity. They don't see it as a chore, but as an investment. This mindset shift makes all the difference. Instead of thinking, I have to learn, they think, I get to learn. That changes the way they approach growth. It makes it enjoyable and sustainable. There's a very practical side to this habit. When you consistently add to your knowledge, you become a problem solver. You spot opportunities others miss. You create value because you have ideas and solutions. That's how leaders rise. They are the people others turn to because they bring fresh perspectives and useful skills to the table. That position can't be taken away, and it opens doors that stay closed for those who stop growing. Daily learning also helps you avoid the trap of outdated thinking. The world changes rapidly, and ideas that worked 5 or 10 years ago might not work today. If your thinking stays stuck, you limit your potential. Winners stay curious about what's new, what's better, and what's next. That curiosity keeps them agile and ready for change instead of fearful of it. Some people think they don't have time to learn every day. But the truth is, you make time for what matters. Even 10 or 15 minutes daily can add up to hundreds of hours a year. That's more than enough to change your life. The question isn't how much time you have, it's how committed you are to growing. Those who prioritize learning find ways to fit it in, no matter how busy they are. They use commute times, breaks, or early mornings. They turn moments into opportunities. Learning every day isn't about becoming a walking encyclopedia. It's about building a mindset that values growth and progress. It's about training your brain to notice new ideas and connect dots in ways you never did before. That habit rewires your thinking and creates a foundation for long-term success. When challenges come, and they will, you'll be better equipped to face them. Because you'll have the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence that come from consistent learning. You won't feel helpless or overwhelmed. You'll see solutions and take action. That's the real power of this habit. Reading or learning something new every day is a commitment to yourself. It's a promise that you will not settle for a small life or average results. It's a daily investment in your future. And while the progress might be slow, the direction is clear. Over time, that direction leads to mastery, opportunities, and the kind of success that lasts. If you want to be someone who rises above the noise and stands out, make this habit non-negotiable. Protect your learning time as fiercely as you protect your work or family time. Be intentional about what you learn. Challenge yourself to grow beyond your comfort zone, and watch how your life changes, one day at a time. Number 5. Stay organized and eliminate daily distractions fast. One of the toughest struggles most people face is trying to get things done, but constantly feeling pulled in 100 directions. The day starts with big intentions and clear goals, but before long, everything scatters, phone buzzes, emails pile up, social media pulls attention, interruptions come one after another. That scattered feeling is exhausting. You finish the day wondering where the time went and why the most important things are still untouched. This is the reality for many who try to be productive but never get the results they want. It's not a lack of effort, but a lack of control over the environment and habits that govern the day. The truth is, success depends on how well you manage your focus. Staying organized isn't just about neat desks or calendars. It's about controlling your time and attention to protect what matters most. When distractions run wild, even the smartest plans fall apart. Without a system in place, the most urgent tasks swallow your day, leaving no room for progress on what truly drives success. That's why winners make organization and distraction elimination a top priority every single day. The moment you wake up and plan your day is only the start. How you handle distractions during the day shapes whether you move forward or stay stuck. The first step is to recognize that distractions are real, they are everywhere, and they are designed to steal your focus. Phones, notifications, unplanned meetings, noisy environments, all these interruptions break your concentration and reduce your productivity. Most people give in without realizing how much energy and time those breaks cost them. But successful people fight back. They start by creating clear boundaries around their work and focus times. This means setting up your space so distractions are minimized. Turn off unnecessary notifications on your phone. Close tabs or apps that pull attention away. Let people around you know when you need uninterrupted time. These simple actions create a protective bubble for your focus. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to constant interruptions. But that discomfort is a sign you're reclaiming control. Another powerful strategy is to prioritize tasks with intention. When you know exactly what your key actions are for the day, it becomes easier to say no to distractions that don't align with your goals. If an incoming request or task doesn't serve your priorities, it's okay to delay or decline it. Winners understand that saying yes to everything means saying no to their success. This selective focus is what sets them apart. Keeping a clear list or system for your tasks also plays a crucial role. Writing down what you need to do frees your mind from holding on to too many details. When your tasks are organized and visible, you reduce mental clutter and increase clarity. You know what to tackle next without wasting time deciding or remembering. That clarity builds momentum and keeps distractions from creeping in. Distractions aren't just external, they can be internal too. Thoughts like worries, doubts, or daydreams pull focus away just as much as a ringing phone. Successful people train their minds to return to the task at hand quickly. They recognize when their attention drifts and gently bring it back. This mental discipline isn't easy, but it can be strengthened with practice, just like a muscle. It's also important to create routines that support focus. For example, batching similar tasks together can reduce the constant switching of attention. When you group emails, phone calls, or meetings into specific times, you avoid fragmentation of your day. You get deeper into work without frequent interruptions. This routine approach builds a rhythm that makes distraction less likely. Environment matters more than most realize. A cluttered or noisy space invites distractions and chaos. Winners take the time to keep their work areas tidy and organized. This physical order translates into mental order. When your environment supports focus, it becomes easier to dive deep and sustain attention. Simple actions like clearing your desk at the end of the day prepare you for success the next morning. Eliminating distractions also means being aware of how you spend your downtime. Many people waste energy on passive entertainment or social media that leaves them drained and scattered. Instead, successful people use breaks to recharge purposefully. Short walks, deep breathing, or quick stretches reset energy and sharpen focus. These small habits keep the mind fresh and prevent burnout. It's worth noting that perfection isn't the goal here. No one can remove every distraction or stay 100% focused all day. What matters is the effort to minimize distractions and stay organized enough to get meaningful work done. Winners accept that distractions will come but prepare so they don't derail their progress. They bounce back quickly and keep moving forward. Technology can be a double-edged sword. It offers tools to organize and focus, but also endless distractions. Successful people harness technology wisely. They use apps that block distracting sites, tools that manage tasks, and calendars that keep them on track. But they don't let technology control them. That requires discipline and awareness. The ability to stay organized and eliminate distractions fast creates space for creativity and problem-solving. When your mind is clear, you can think deeper and come up with better ideas. That mental clarity is priceless in any pursuit. Distractions kill that clarity and leave you stuck on the surface. Those who master this habit build a reputation for reliability and effectiveness. Others notice because they get things done consistently. Opportunities come because people trust them to deliver. That trust is a direct result of controlling distractions and managing time well. It's normal to feel overwhelmed at first when trying to stay organized and eliminate distractions. The pull of habits that keep you scattered is strong, but the payoff is enormous. The longer you practice, the easier it becomes. You start anticipating distractions and handle them before they take hold. Your day flows smoother and your results improve. If you want to be a winner, build daily routines that protect your focus. Make organization a priority, not an afterthought. Set clear rules for yourself and stick to them. Learn to recognize distraction triggers and deal with them quickly. This habit is a form of respect for your time, your goals, and yourself. In the end, your ability to stay organized and control distractions decides how far you go. It determines whether your hard work turns into real progress or just busy noise. Protect your attention like it's the most valuable resource, because it is. When you do, you unlock the power to do your best work every day. Number 6, surround yourself with positive-driven people only. It's a hard truth most people don't want to face, but the people you spend the most time with shape who you become more than anything else. If you're surrounded by negativity, doubts, and lack of ambition, that mindset seeps into your own thinking. You begin to question your own abilities, lose sight of your goals, and settle for less than you deserve. This is why so many people struggle to move forward. They're trapped in environments that limit them rather than lift them up. Being around people who complain, who doubt, or who have no clear direction will drag you down, no matter how strong your own intentions are. The reality is this: your closest relationships act like mirrors and magnets at the same time. They reflect your current mindset and pull you toward their way of thinking and acting. If you want to succeed, you have to be very selective about who you let into your inner circle. Winners surround themselves with people who inspire, challenge, and motivate them every day. These are not just cheerleaders who say nice things. They are driven individuals who push themselves to grow and expect the same from those around them. This kind of company raises your standards and expands your possibilities. Positive, driven people bring energy and focus into your life. They remind you of what's possible when things get tough. Their belief in progress and success creates an environment where your own ambition can thrive. When you're around people who constantly look for solutions, who celebrate wins, and who keep their eyes on the future, you naturally begin to think bigger and act bolder. This mindset is contagious in the best way. On the other hand, negative or complacent people drain your energy without even realizing it. Their constant complaints, excuses, and resistance to change create invisible chains that slow you down. You start doubting yourself, hesitating to take risks, or ignoring opportunities because their voices drown out your own. It's not easy to break free from this cycle, especially if those people are family or long-time friends. But if you want to grow, you must make tough choices about your relationships. It's important to remember that surrounding yourself with positive, driven people isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring reality. It's about choosing to focus on what's constructive and future-focused rather than what's destructive or stuck in the past. These people don't ignore challenges. They face them with courage and a commitment to improvement. They hold themselves and others accountable in a way that pushes everyone forward. You might wonder where to find these kinds of people if they aren't already in your life. The answer is you create opportunities by being intentional. Look for groups, clubs, or communities that share your goals and values. Attend workshops, seminars, or online forums where growth is the priority. Reach out to mentors or coaches who have achieved what you aspire to. The more you immerse yourself in environments filled with motivated people, the easier it becomes to build supportive relationships. Spending time with positive, driven people also sharpens your own focus and accountability. When you share your goals with others who are committed to their own success, you create a natural system of checks and balances. They celebrate your progress, but they also challenge you when you slack or lose direction. This honest feedback is invaluable because it prevents you from drifting and keeps you on track toward your goals. It's critical to understand that being around positive, driven people requires effort and commitment. You have to give as much as you take. Genuine relationships thrive on mutual respect, support, and encouragement. This means being there for others when they need help or motivation and celebrating their wins with sincerity. When you contribute positively to your circle, the energy comes back to you multiplied. One of the most powerful things about surrounding yourself with positive, driven people is how it affects your daily habits and decisions. You'll notice yourself adopting new routines, thinking differently about challenges, and making choices aligned with growth. These people often introduce you to new ideas, strategies, and perspectives that can change your entire approach to success. They open doors you didn't even know existed. Another key point is that this habit doesn't mean cutting off everyone who isn't motivated or positive. Life is complex, and relationships with family, co-workers, or acquaintances will always include a mix of personalities. The difference is in where you spend your focused, quality time. Your energy investment matters most. Make sure your closest connections and daily influences are people who pull you forward rather than hold you back. Sometimes this means distancing yourself from toxic relationships, even if it's uncomfortable or painful. Protecting your mindset is not selfish, it's necessary. When you raise your standards for who you spend time with, you raise your own standards for what you accept in life. That clarity creates space for new, healthier, and more empowering relationships to grow. The emotional benefits of surrounding yourself with driven people are profound. You feel supported, understood, and encouraged. You have a safety net of motivation when life gets difficult. Instead of facing challenges alone, you have a community to lean on and learn from. That sense of belonging energizes you and gives you strength to push through setbacks. This habit also builds resilience. When you see others working hard, overcoming obstacles and moving forward despite setbacks, you realize you can do the same. It shifts your mindset from one of doubt to one of confidence and possibility. You learn to trust the process and keep going because you're not isolated in your journey. The daily influence of positive-driven people shapes your identity. Over time, you begin to think of yourself as someone who grows, achieves, and handles challenges. That shift in self-image is critical because who you believe you are determines what you're willing to work for and how much effort you put in. When your inner circle believes in growth and success, it becomes easier for you to believe in yourself. At the core, this habit is about respect for yourself and for your potential. You deserve to be surrounded by people who see your value and push you to be better. You deserve a community that fuels your dreams and helps you reach them. Choosing to surround yourself with positive-driven people is one of the most powerful decisions you can make on the path to success. It's a daily commitment to your future and a recognition that no one climbs the mountain alone. When you start making this habit a priority, watch how your energy changes, your mindset sharpens, and your results improve. The company you keep is one of the most important ingredients for lasting success. Guard it wisely, invest in it fully, and let it be the foundation for your greatest achievements. Number 7. Take responsibility and never make excuses ever. Life has a way of testing us. Every day, challenges come knocking, some expected, some out of the blue. It's easy to blame others, to point fingers, or to find reasons why things didn't go as planned. It feels natural to say, "It's not my fault," or "I didn't have the resources," or "the timing wasn't right." But here's the hard truth that most people struggle to accept. Success begins the moment you stop making excuses and start owning every part of your life. Taking responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything. It's about recognizing that you are the one with the power to change your situation. Winners do not waste energy avoiding ownership, they embrace it fully. Excuses create a wall that blocks your progress. They keep you stuck in the same place, spinning in circles of frustration and disappointment. When you make excuses, you hand over control of your life to circumstances, to other people, or to things beyond your reach. That's a trap because it makes you a passenger instead of the driver of your own journey. The moment you stop making excuses, you take the driver's seat. You decide where you want to go and what steps you will take to get there. Taking responsibility means looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself. It means acknowledging your role in the results you're seeing, whether they're good or bad. This honesty might sting at first, but it's necessary. It's the foundation for real growth. When you accept responsibility, you free yourself from the victim mindset that so many people fall into. That mindset says, "Life happens to me," while responsibility says, "I choose how to respond to life." This habit requires courage. It's much easier to blame external factors than to admit your own part in setbacks. But the moment you face your mistakes head-on, you unlock your potential to improve. You begin to see every failure as a lesson, every setback as an opportunity to get stronger and smarter. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail often comes down to this. Successful people own their failures and learn from them without excuses. Never making excuses also means taking ownership of your choices, not just your mistakes. Every day, you decide how you spend your time, who you listen to, and what actions you take. When things don't go well, the temptation to blame others or circumstances can be strong. But the truth is that your decisions shape your outcomes more than anything else. Taking responsibility is about standing by those decisions and adjusting when necessary, rather than running away from them. This habit transforms how you approach problems. Instead of asking, Why is this happening to me? You start asking, what can I do about this? That shift in mindset turns challenges into puzzles you're determined to solve. It also builds resilience because you stop waiting for the perfect conditions or for someone else to fix things. You become proactive and resourceful, finding ways to move forward even when the path isn't clear. Responsibility also means managing your emotions in difficult times. It's easy to get angry, frustrated, or discouraged when things don't go your way. But winners recognize that they control how they respond emotionally. They refuse to let excuses become a way to justify negative feelings or actions. Instead, they acknowledge their emotions, then refocus on what they can control: their attitude and effort. This habit demands a mindset of continuous self-improvement. Taking responsibility means regularly asking yourself tough questions. What could I have done better? What habits are holding me back? Where do I need to grow? It's not about beating yourself up, but about seeking clarity and solutions. This kind of reflection is a powerful engine for progress because it keeps you accountable to your own goals and values. A critical part of never making excuses is recognizing when you've been making them in the past. Many people don't realize how often they slip into excuse-making until they pay close attention. It might be blaming a lack of time, energy, money, or support. It might be convincing yourself that conditions have to be perfect before you act. These excuses sound reasonable, but they rob you of momentum. Awareness is the first step to breaking free. This habit also changes the way others see you. People respect those who take responsibility because it shows integrity and strength. When you own your actions and results, you build trust and credibility. This opens doors and creates opportunities that excuses would close. Being known as someone who doesn't make excuses makes you a leader, someone others want to follow and learn from. Taking full responsibility sometimes means facing consequences for past actions. It can be uncomfortable to admit mistakes or face outcomes you don't like. But this discomfort is part of the growth process. It's a sign that you're serious about changing and moving forward. Avoiding accountability only prolongs problems and delays success. Embracing responsibility means dealing with those consequences head-on, learning from them, and then taking positive steps. The power of this habit lies in how it turns every situation into a chance to get better. No matter how tough the challenge or how disappointing the outcome, responsibility puts the power in your hands. It says, I can control my future by what I do now. This mindset fuels persistence and hard work, even when motivation is low or obstacles seem huge. At its core, taking responsibility is about respect for yourself and for those around you. It means honoring your potential by refusing to settle for excuses. It means recognizing that your life is a product of your actions and decisions, not luck or external forces. This respect pushes you to act with discipline, focus, and integrity every day. This habit transforms your life because it rewires how you think and how you act. When excuses disappear, clarity and purpose take their place. You stop wasting time on distractions and start making consistent progress toward what matters most. You gain confidence knowing you are capable of handling whatever comes your way because you won't hide behind excuses, you'll face it and deal with it. Taking responsibility is also deeply freeing. When you stop blaming others or circumstances, you reclaim control. You realize that your happiness, success, and growth depend on you. This awareness empowers you to take bold action, make tough decisions, and pursue your goals with unwavering commitment. The challenge is sticking to this habit every day. It's easy to slip back into excuse-making when things get hard or uncomfortable. But the winners are those who catch themselves quickly, course-correct, and keep moving forward. They build mental muscles that resist excuses and lean into ownership instead. Owning your life also means owning your story. Every success, failure, setback, and breakthrough is part of who you are. Taking responsibility means accepting your story fully and using it as fuel for the future. It means no longer waiting for someone else to fix things or for conditions to be perfect. You are the author, and every choice you make writes the next chapter. In the end, the decision to take responsibility and never make excuses is a daily choice. It's a commitment to honesty, courage, and growth. It's what separates those who live ordinary lives from those who create extraordinary results. It's the habit that sets winners apart because it puts power where it belongs, right in your hands. Number 8. Review progress and adjust actions with intention. Most people go through life reacting to what happens around them without stopping to check if the path they're on is actually leading anywhere. It's common to get busy, to keep moving forward, but without really knowing if the steps you're taking are effective or meaningful. This lack of awareness can lead to frustration and wasted effort because you keep doing what doesn't work, hoping something will change. The reality is this: winners don't just work hard, they work smart. One powerful habit that separates successful people is regularly reviewing their progress and adjusting their actions with clear intention. This habit starts with reflection. Taking time to look back on what you've done, what results you've achieved, and what didn't go as planned is crucial. It's easy to overlook this step because we often get caught up in what's next, what's urgent, and what demands our attention. But without honest reflection, you can't learn or improve. Reviewing progress means stepping out of the fast lane to observe your journey clearly, without judgment or excuses. It's a moment of clarity that lets you see the truth of your situation. Reflection must be honest. It's not about blaming yourself for what didn't work, but about understanding why things happened the way they did. Were your goals clear enough? Did your actions match your priorities? Did you face obstacles you didn't anticipate? Did you use your time wisely? This kind of questioning leads to insight, and insight leads to better decisions. Winners ask these tough questions regularly because they know that improvement depends on self-awareness. Once you understand where you stand, the next step is adjustment. This means changing your approach based on what you've learned. It's about taking intentional action rather than drifting or repeating the same mistakes. Adjustment might mean refining your goals to make them more realistic or challenging. It might mean changing your daily routine, adopting new habits, or letting go of activities that don't serve your bigger picture. This is where strategy meets execution, knowing not just what to do, but how to do it better. Intentional adjustment requires clarity about your priorities. Without knowing what matters most to you, it's easy to make changes that are distracting or ineffective. Winners focus on the actions that align directly with their goals. They eliminate or delegate tasks that don't move the needle. This sharp focus prevents wasted effort and keeps momentum strong. When you review your progress, ask yourself, does what I'm doing right now bring me closer to my vision? If the answer is no, it's time to adjust. Reviewing progress isn't a one-time event, it's a continuous cycle. Daily, weekly, or monthly check-ins create a rhythm that keeps you connected to your purpose. This consistency builds discipline because you're constantly aware of your direction and performance. It also helps prevent burnout. When you notice signs of fatigue or frustration, reflection alerts you to slow down, change course, or seek support. Without this habit, you risk pushing hard in the wrong direction until you're exhausted and stuck. Adjusting with intention also means being flexible. The world around you is always changing. Opportunities arise, obstacles appear, and new information comes to light. Winners don't cling stubbornly to a plan that no longer fits. They stay adaptable and open to change. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals, but refining your path to get there. Flexibility is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows you're serious about results, not just about following a fixed plan. Tracking progress is a key part of this habit. Using simple tools like journals, lists, or apps helps you see measurable results. When you write down your actions and outcomes, you create a record that's easier to analyze. This makes your review process more objective. It also builds motivation because you can see how far you've come, even when the big wins aren't yet visible. Tracking keeps you honest and focused. Another important aspect is celebrating small wins. Reviewing progress isn't only about finding what went wrong. It's also about recognizing and appreciating what went well. This positive reinforcement fuels confidence and keeps your mindset strong. Winners know that success is a collection of small, consistent steps. Each progress review is a chance to acknowledge those steps and encourage yourself to keep moving forward. This habit also demands humility. It takes maturity to admit when something isn't working and to change course. Ego can get in the way, making you want to prove you were right all along. But clinging to a failing plan wastes time and energy. The winners are those who put their pride aside and focus on results. They seek feedback and listen to advice because they want to grow. This openness accelerates progress because it brings new perspectives and solutions. Reviewing progress and adjusting actions impacts every area of your life. Whether it's your career, relationships, health, or personal growth, this habit creates momentum. It prevents stagnation and encourages continuous improvement. Instead of feeling stuck or overwhelmed, you feel in control and hopeful. This sense of control empowers you to take risks and pursue bigger goals because you know you can course correct along the way. This habit also sharpens decision-making. When you regularly assess your progress, you become better at spotting opportunities and risks early. You learn to prioritize what matters most and to say no to distractions. Your choices become intentional, not random or reactive. This kind of clarity reduces stress because you're no longer guessing or hoping things will improve on their own. Review and adjustment build resilience too. Life rarely goes perfectly, and setbacks happen to everyone. But winners use these moments as signals to pause and rethink their approach. Instead of giving up or blaming circumstances, they respond with thoughtful changes. This keeps their efforts effective and sustainable. Resilience comes from knowing you have the ability to adapt and improve, no matter what challenges arise. This habit connects deeply with personal responsibility. Reviewing your progress means owning your results, both good and bad. Adjusting actions means committing to change rather than waiting for luck or outside help. It's a daily reminder that your future depends on your choices. This mindset fosters independence and confidence. You stop being a bystander in your own life and become the architect of your success. Developing this habit takes practice. It requires discipline to slow down, reflect, and make changes instead of rushing ahead blindly. It means setting aside time regularly, even when life is busy or stressful. But the rewards are huge. Over time, this habit transforms how you work, how you think, and how you grow. It builds a foundation for long-term achievement because you stay aligned with your goals and purpose. The key to mastering this habit is to keep it simple and practical. You don't need complicated systems or lengthy reviews. Even a few minutes each day or week dedicated to honest reflection and intentional adjustment can make a powerful difference. The goal is clarity, focus, and continuous improvement, not perfection. When this habit becomes part of your daily routine, you develop a clear vision of where you're headed. You learn to recognize what's working and what's not without judgment or fear. You gain confidence in your ability to adapt and thrive. This makes success not just a distant dream, but a natural outcome of your consistent efforts. Taking time to review progress and adjust actions turns hard work into smart work. Number 9, practice gratitude and maintain a winning mindset. Too often, people focus on what's missing in their lives, on the things that frustrate or disappoint them. It's common to get caught up in problems, setbacks, and the endless list of challenges that make success feel out of reach. This is a harsh reality. Many face daily feeling stuck in negativity or overwhelmed by circumstances. The truth is, without a clear mental foundation, no amount of effort can push you toward lasting success. One of the most powerful habits winners cultivate is practicing gratitude and maintaining a mindset that supports growth and achievement. This habit changes how you experience your life and how you respond to every situation. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about truly recognizing and appreciating what you have right now, even if it's not perfect. This means shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance. When you practice gratitude regularly, you begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You notice resources around you that you previously ignored. Gratitude sharpens your awareness and lifts your spirit, giving you the energy to keep moving forward. It rewires your brain to look for the good, which naturally attracts more positive outcomes. The mind is like soil. What you plant grows. If you plant thoughts of doubt, fear, or frustration, those are the feelings and results you'll harvest. Winners understand this principle. They feed their minds with thoughts that support confidence, hope, and persistence. Maintaining a winning mindset means choosing what you allow yourself to think about and what you believe about your potential. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending life is easy. It's about deciding to focus on solutions, strengths, and progress instead of problems and setbacks. Gratitude also anchors you in the present moment. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to get stuck worrying about the future or regretting the past. But the power of appreciation brings you back to what you have right now. This presence reduces anxiety and opens your mind to creative ideas and effective action. Winners know that the present moment is where change happens, so they train themselves to find gratitude in daily life, no matter how small the reason. Practicing gratitude has a direct impact on your emotions and health. Research shows that people who regularly express gratitude experience less stress and more happiness. When you feel good, your brain functions better and you make smarter decisions. A grateful mindset boosts your energy and resilience. It helps you recover from setbacks faster because your focus is on what you can control and improve rather than on what's gone wrong. Maintaining a winning mindset also requires discipline. Your mind will naturally drift toward negativity because it's wired to protect you from danger. That means it's easy to get stuck in a loop of worry or self-doubt. But champions catch those thoughts early and redirect them. They replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," they ask, "What can I learn from this challenge?" This shift in thinking opens new doors and possibilities. Gratitude can be practiced in many simple ways. Some write down 3 things they are thankful for every day. Others pause before meals or before going to bed to reflect on positive moments. The key is consistency. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, gratitude becomes a lens through which you view your life, making it easier to find motivation even on tough days. A winning mindset isn't just about positive thinking, it's about resilience and purpose. It means believing that setbacks are temporary and part of the journey. Winners see failure as feedback, not final defeat. They hold on to their vision and remind themselves why they started. This sense of purpose fuels their mindset and keeps them aligned with their goals. Without this inner drive, motivation will fade quickly. Gratitude and mindset also influence your relationships. When you appreciate others, your connections deepen. Positive relationships provide support, encouragement, and accountability. Winners surround themselves with people who uplift them and challenge them to grow. A grateful heart attracts others because it radiates kindness and strength. This habit transforms how you approach challenges. Instead of feeling defeated when things don't go as planned, you respond with curiosity and determination. You ask yourself what lessons you can take and how you can improve. This attitude creates momentum because every difficulty becomes a chance to get stronger. When gratitude and a winning mindset guide your actions, obstacles lose their power to stop you. Practicing gratitude also builds humility. It reminds you that success isn't achieved alone. There are always people, experiences, and opportunities that contribute to your progress. This awareness keeps you grounded and open to learning. Winners know they don't have all the answers, so they stay teachable and adaptable. Maintaining this mindset takes effort, especially in a world that often highlights negativity. News, social media, and daily stressors can drag your mood down quickly. That's why intentional practice is essential. Create routines and reminders that bring you back to gratitude and positive thinking. This might be a morning ritual, affirmations, or surrounding yourself with inspiring books and people. The more you reinforce this habit, the more resilient and focused you become. When gratitude and a winning mindset become part of your daily life, you'll notice a shift in how you tackle goals. You'll feel more motivated, even when results are slow. You'll find joy in the process, not just the outcome. This mindset gives you peace and power because you know that success isn't just about circumstances, it's about how you think and respond. This habit also prepares you for long-term success. Achievements can be fleeting if your mindset is fragile. But when you build gratitude and mental strength, you create a foundation that holds up through ups and downs. You become someone who doesn't just reach a goal, but sustains success by staying positive and focused over time. Finally, this habit empowers you to live a meaningful life. Success without gratitude is empty. Winners know that true success includes happiness, fulfillment, and contribution. Practicing gratitude opens your heart to appreciate the journey and the people around you. It makes success more rewarding and life more joyful. Every day you have a choice. You can focus on what's missing or appreciate what's present. You can allow negativity to hold you back or cultivate a mindset that propels you forward. Practicing gratitude and maintaining a winning mindset is a habit that turns challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. This habit shapes not just your success, but the quality of your life. Number 10. Stay consistent even when motivation feels low. There are moments in everyone's life when motivation simply isn't there. The excitement fades. The initial fire that pushed you to start something new feels like a distant memory. You've experienced those times when waking up and moving forward feels like dragging a heavy weight behind you. This is reality. No one is motivated every day. It's natural to have ups and downs. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't isn't how motivated they feel every morning. It's whether they keep showing up, even when motivation disappears. Consistency is the real power behind success. It's the daily actions you take, no matter how small, that create lasting change. Imagine what happens when someone puts in effort every single day, even if they don't feel like it. Those small, steady steps add up to big results. On the other hand, waiting for motivation to strike before you act is a trap. Motivation is unpredictable. It can't be controlled or relied upon. So, depending on motivation alone is a recipe for inconsistency and frustration. Understanding this is critical. When motivation is low, most people quit or put things off. They tell themselves they'll try again later, once they feel ready or inspired. But time slips away, and those intentions rarely turn into action. Winners understand that action creates motivation, not the other way around. By committing to consistent effort, they build momentum. That momentum becomes fuel, pushing them forward even on the toughest days. Consistency builds discipline. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you working toward your goals when enthusiasm fades. It's what creates reliability. Successful people are reliable to themselves first. They don't make excuses or wait for perfect conditions. They set routines and habits that make progress inevitable. Discipline turns work into a habit. When you have a habit, you don't need motivation because it becomes part of your daily routine, automatic and natural. Another truth about consistency is that it reduces overwhelm. Big goals can feel intimidating, especially when motivation is low. But breaking those goals into small, manageable actions removes that burden. When you focus on doing something every day, no matter how small, the work feels lighter. You begin to build confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable, even when emotions are tough. That proof is powerful. It keeps you moving forward. Consistency also trains your mind to handle challenges better. When you push through hard days, you develop resilience. You learn that setbacks aren't signals to stop. They are signals to adjust and keep going. This mindset shift is essential. Life will throw distractions, difficulties, and failures your way. Winners don't stop because of these. They stay consistent by adapting, learning, and continuing to act. One practical way to maintain consistency is to create a clear plan. When you know exactly what to do each day, it's easier to take action. Goals become less abstract and more tangible. A daily checklist or schedule can help you stay accountable. Writing down your tasks and crossing them off gives a sense of accomplishment, which fuels further consistency. Accountability is another important factor. When you share your goals with someone who supports you or work alongside others with similar ambitions, you're more likely to stay consistent. Knowing that others expect you to show up creates positive pressure. It reminds you that your progress matters not just to yourself, but to your team or community. It's also important to understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when you miss your target or perform below your best. What matters is that you don't give up entirely. Returning to the task the next day is what counts. Winners forgive themselves for setbacks, but never use them as excuses to quit. They accept that failure is part of the process, not the end of the journey. When motivation is low, your environment becomes a critical ally. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals, notes, pictures, or inspiring quotes. These visual cues can help spark the action you need. Also, remove distractions that steal your focus or tempt you to give up. Your environment should support your commitment, making it easier to stay consistent. Another secret to consistency is celebrating small wins. Every step forward is progress and deserves recognition. When you take the time to appreciate your efforts, it keeps your spirits up and your mind focused. This positive reinforcement makes it easier to keep going when the path feels difficult. Sometimes you'll have to push through discomfort. You'll face days when you feel tired, distracted, or doubting yourself. But those moments are where champions are made. The difference is in choosing to act anyway, even if it's just one small task. This choice builds a foundation of trust in yourself. It shows that you are committed beyond feelings or circumstances. Remember, success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't need to be perfect every day. What you need is persistence over time. Consistency turns dreams into habits, habits into routines, and routines into results. Each day you follow through, you're reinforcing the path toward your goals. This steady progress beats short bursts of energy that fade quickly. It helps to remind yourself why you started in the first place. Your purpose is the fuel that keeps your engine running when motivation dips. When you reconnect with your reason and vision, even a small effort feels worthwhile. Purpose combined with consistency creates unstoppable momentum. Finally, staying consistent builds confidence. When you prove to yourself that you can keep going, you develop belief in your ability to succeed. Confidence grows with every effort, every action taken despite resistance. This confidence makes future challenges less intimidating and keeps you moving forward. In life, there will always be reasons to stop or delay. The key to winning is learning to move forward regardless. When motivation is low, consistency is the anchor that holds you steady. It's the habit that winners rely on to create extraordinary results. No one ever regrets pushing a little harder or sticking with their goals through tough times. By choosing to stay consistent, you're investing in yourself and your future. Every day you put in the work, even when it's difficult, you're building a foundation that no obstacle can easily shake. The power of consistency is in showing up again and again until success is no longer a possibility, it's a certainty.